that I appreciated about, oh, by the way, my name's Beverly Beal. One of the things I always appreciated about Jeff was just how much he adored his girls. He never made it a secret how proud he was of his daughters and how absolutely in awe he was of his wife. He had this ability to just smile. It kind of, sometimes there's a little secret smile, sometimes there's a great big smile, but you always knew you were in safe hands when he was around. I want to take a moment to do a quick little reading, but before I forget, because I do have Swiss cheese for brains at times, Sherry would like to make sure that everybody here has a chance to sign the guest book. That will be wonderfully comforting for her down the road. We have little seed packets for everyone to take and plant in your own garden so that you too can remember Jeff's love of nature. In addition, there's little cards here that you can make for just little personal notes to Sherry if you like, as well as these cards here that you can take home, the little memorial cards. We also have the wonderful book of concert tickets. Jeff's love of music again he was very much a fan of that. In fact, they introduced me to the Mavericks. I'd never heard of the Mavericks before, and it's like, woo! Now I'm having a lot of fun with them. So, and then before it, we have some flower petals. Trying to find a nice or eco-friendly way to act as a send-off. So once everybody's finished here, after I do the reading, anybody else who'd like to come up and give a quick, talk about your memory of him, I think that would be helpful for everyone. And then Sherry will finish the whole event. But make sure you get some of these flower petals. I'll stand over there after the end, after you've signed, come and get that. Do not weep for me, for I have not gone. I am the wind that shakes the mighty oak. I am the gentle rain that falls upon your face. I am the spring flower that pushes through the dark earth. I am the chuckling laughter of the mountain stream. Do not weep for me, for I have not gone. I am the memory that dwells in the heart of those who knew me. I am the shadow that dances at the edge of your vision. I am the wild goose that flies south at autumn's call, and I shall return at summer's rising. I am the stag in the wild hills way. I am just around the corner. Therefore, the wise weep not, but rejoice at the transformation of my being. I looked for a lot of different readings that would kind of sum up how I knew Jeff to be in this world, and that was about as spot on as I could find. So, because there's a lot of wonderful stories that need to be shared, and a lot of reconnecting that always happens at these kind of events, I'd like to invite anybody else who would have a memory that they wish to share to come forward. Anybody? Any of the concert stories that are a little too... Yes, young man. Oh.
I'll say something.
A lot of concerts together.
Okay. Can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Scott Canfield. Jeff and I and Tony were concert buddies, for lack of a better term. That's how we met. We became very good friends through music, and enjoyed a lot of shows together, and just a lot of good times. Having hamburgers with the Angry Dog, meet for lunch, just sit and talk and listen to Jeff's philosophy on life and life after life. It was
lot of he taught me a lot. And of course, as being a teenager, I was very, we'd have these little battles back and forth that kind of went into our 20s, but I respect him so much, and he has taught me so much. And the funny thing is, I make the best salads because of Jeff. And you guys may think that's funny, but I know I'm serious. It's like I can top off anybody's salad and it looks amazing. And it is a Jeff thing. You guys may not know that, but so
He made the best salads.
the best salads. I love.
He made Sherry's salad for lunch, and I would have lunch with Sherry. And I would look at her salad, and it would have these little curly Q carrots that like a real chef would make, And I'd be like, and I've got a turkey sandwich. She had the best salads. That part was true.
I mean, seriously.
Professional.
Layer up and down, and yeah, I can. Very good. And he was a strong. He was an avid writer. He loved writing. And hiking, reading, reading.
Well, I met Jeff through work. I took a part-time job and he was working at Maxim, and that's how I ran into Z here as well. They all work together. I met him there. We started talking and found that we liked music together, and I worked for Jeff then. We switched jobs. Jeff worked for me. We switched jobs again. I worked for Jeff again. We all three worked together and for each other and with each other for several years. And speaking of the reading, it brought a thought to mind that I know Z's going to appreciate. Jeff always read at lunchtime, and he would sit there very interested in his book and was eating lunch, and people would come in, as they do at lunchtime, and would interrupt him. Oh, what you got there? Leftovers from the day before, and he'd say what he had. And person after person, you could tell he was getting frustrated because he kept getting interrupted from the reading, which was the important thing, not the lunch, but the reading. So I'd sit there and say, so what are you having, Jeff? And he would put the book down and he'd go, I'm having, and I'm just kidding, man. So it always turned into, what are you having for lunch? And regardless of what he had, it was sandwich, man. You could have a steak, beans, whatever. What are you having? Sandwich, man. Because he just wanted to get back to his book. So I always remember that about him.
There's no one else.
It's kind of hard to do this, but I was married to Jeff for 32 years. We met back in 1986 and at X-ray school. And he was this tall, dark, handsome guy that I saw, and I would sit and listen to him talk to the other students who were in the classes and stuff, and he sounded quite interesting, and he sounded like he always was doing something, having fun on the weekends, and so I thought, well, I'd like to go out with this guy, but I was not going to ask him out. I wanted him to ask me out. So in our physics class, I sat a few rows behind him and off to the side. And so I would just sit there and stare at him until he would turn around, because he could feel me staring at him. And then I would just turn my head around, act like I wasn't me. And that went on for a few weeks, and then finally he would turn his head around and I would just sit there and smile. And so shortly after I smiled at him a few times, he asked me out, and he took me to our first concert, Kirk Whalum, and the rest is pretty much history, because I was done after that night. I mean, and we got married in 1989, and 5 years later we had Miss Devon. 19 months later we had Miss Erin, and
loved being able to travel and go on some hikes and bikes. And I brought his bike out here because he loved biking pretty much more than anything besides his family. I mean, he loved to be on that bicycle, and I would ride with him on days like this, but Jeff was hardcore. I mean, there could be snow on the ground, and it could be below freezing, and he would just flare up, and he would get out there and he would go ride. And I was like, you're crazy, but yeah. But he did. He absolutely loved biking. We took a few biking trips over the years, went up to the Olympic Peninsula, Washington State, and into Canada, and around Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas. And then this picture right here, that's in Zion Canyon. That's our last big trip. We took a big trip to Grand Canyon and Zion and Rocky Mountain in 2019, and it was at that point when we came back, Jeff was diagnosed with this diagnosis.